Assalamu alaikum. It's Dr. Nasir. How is everyone? Fine. So, in today's video, we will continue with the same how to form words out of words, right? In the previous video, right, we talked about this thing that words do not need to be memorized, they can somehow be understood to an extent, obviously. So, let's take an example. Suppose we start with the word wax, VEX. Wax means to, in simple words, wax means to annoy someone, to tease someone. Okay? Wax means to tease. All of you know it's a very common word, right? Tease. So we say, please don't wax me. That means don't tease me. Don't annoy me. So wax means tease, or suppose you say annoy. Once again, it's not that uncommon. A-double-N-O-Y. Annoy basically means to be a bit offended, right? To be a bit, suppose he's a bit annoyed. It means he's not that happy. But obviously, we can use it in the sense of to tease someone. These words are very common, but there are some words. Suppose sometimes you annoy someone so much that he feels a bit very upset that what the hell, right? For that, we can use the word rankle. Rankle means to, it has the same meaning, but rankle basically means to tease someone so much that one feels like fed up, right? To tease a lot. Okay. Suppose someone says, please stop rankling me. It means that I'm just okay. So there's a word perturb. Perturb basically means to disturb something, to perturb, to upset, right? But if you perturb somebody, so that means you are actually teasing him a lot. Suppose here he is a kid, please stop perturbing him. It means don't disturb him more. Okay? So it means the same word has different parallels, different sort of synonyms. Suppose there is a word fret, F-R-E-T. Fret, you might have heard, the literal meaning of the word fret is to rub something. Okay? To rub something. When you rub something, there is sort of heat. As a result of that, you feel sort of irritation. So if we see here, why are you fretting her? It means, why are you teasing her? Why are you disturbing her? So that's why it said words have no meanings. It's the use of the word that counts. So please stop fretting her. It means please don't tease her. Okay? Similarly, suppose you say fester. Fester is a word, it's a medical term basically. It means when there is sort of right swelling like thing somewhere, right? Sort of. Okay. But if you use it as verb, if you use it in its action form, you see, why were you festering her so much? That means, why were you disturbing her so much that she has become so upset? Okay, so that's why it said words have no meanings. Similarly, pastor. Pastor, you might have heard, pest is something that is very killing, very harmful. So, pastor means to, you see, why did they pastor him so much that he actually somehow, right, killed himself? So pastor means to tease a lot, and that becomes really irritating for you. Okay, irritate itself, all of you know, is a very common word. But what's the literal meaning of the word irritate? Irritate basically means to when something itches a bit. Well, here this place irritating a bit. It means I'm not feeling good. There is sort of okay. But in practical life, when we use the word irritate, we use it in the sense of to tease someone. Okay? They irritated him so much that he got upset. So if we change the bit, its noun form is irritation. Irritation in literal form means itching, but in practical form irritation means the process of teasing. So from this you can guess that words have no meanings. The same word can be right inflected in different ways. Okay, got some idea? Okay. The problem is that when we use this sort of words, because most of us are not familiar with them, so that's why people say he or she is using difficult sort of English. Actually, it's not the case. We are not familiar with, so that's why. Suppose you just use the word, take the word familiar. All of you are familiar with the word, no? Familiar means to be aware of something. Suppose you say all of us are familiar with this thing, okay? But if someone says, in some movies you might have come across this sort of scenes that yesterday a familiar came to our house. What? People say, what? Familiar came? So what's the meaning of that then? So in that case, familiar is being used as noun. Okay? So familiar over here means something like ghost-like stuff. Okay? Something like ghost. So from this, it's actually a sort of noun, that thing. And it was sort of adjective, right? When you know a thing, you have a little sense of that thing. So sometimes that's why when watching different movies, people say, yeah, there was a strange thing, right? Words were very common, very simple, but even then I couldn't understand what actually they wanted to say. So this is because of these things. So familiar here means ghost, apparition. Got some idea? Okay, let's take another example, a very simple one. In routine, when you tease someone, I mean when you actually favor someone for nothing. So we use the word flatter. Flatter means to, this is very common in our culture, in all the cultures rather. Flatter means to favor someone for nothing, to praise someone unjustifiably. Okay? So this word is a verb actually. That suppose you say all of them were flattering the boss, right? They were favoring him for nothing. So if I say flattery, the root is the same, right? Flattery is that process. Okay? Flattery is that process. Suppose you see, yes, I dislike this habit of flattery, right? We want to use this and we use this. So sometimes we should have a little bit sense of the thing that whether this thing is a verb, it's a noun. With the passage of time, inshallah, you will learn all that. Suppose it's a very common word. Another word that is used in this sense is cox. Cox basically means to pamper someone, to, okay, suppose your mother can coax you, your sister can coax you. As I was saying that coax in positive sense means to pamper someone. Okay, yeah. Suppose my friend has become a bit offended. He is actually angry with me or something like that. If I say, please, yeah, do coax him. It may bring him down somehow. But in negative sense, coax means to favor someone, flatter. So look the way people are coaxing the president. It means the way they are actually favoring him for nothing just to get some benefits or something like that. So coax is a verb, it is showing that action. And coaxing is that process, right? That process. It's a sort of noun. Okay. Right? So we say that everyone, right, says that he or she doesn't like coaxing. But most of us are in the habit of doing coaxing. Right? And it's a noun. And coaxer, E-X-E-R. Once again, it's a noun, but it means that person. So his father was also a coxer. He's a born coxer. Rather, most of us are, and they're very successful, God forbid, right? So, similarly, a word cajole. Cajole has almost the same meaning, right? It's a verb, it shows action. Okay, please stop cajoling her, right? Stop favoring her for nothing. And from this, you can say cajoling is that process. Okay. Suppose I say that cajoling is a noun actually. Cajoling is something bad. All of us know it's bad, but even then we think that it's good. So cajoling is that process, and cajole is that person. Okay. Once again, it's a noun. It means words have no meanings. The same word has different meanings, or different words can be used for the same thing. Okay. The difference is that of intensity. Okay. Let's take another example. You just suppose take a simple word, go. Okay. Right? Even a layfolk knows go means, right, to go somewhere. Okay. But if I just change it a bit, if I just say, don't you think this is the go? Even an educated person becomes a bit confused at what? If I say, don't you think this is the go? It means this thing is in fashion. The go is something that is sort of rage, that is in fashion. So, meaning a change. Okay. If I say, goo, this word is a bit uncommon, right? I have just added O. So goo means sort of emotionality, sentimentality. If I say, please, this much goo is not good, it means this much emotionality is not good. So if we just add something after this, if I just say, if we just add F, goof, all of you know goof is a person who is a stupid sort of person. This world is rich in goofs. Most of us are goofs. Okay? Though we are not willing to admit the thing, but we are. Okay? So if I just change, he's a goof. It's a noun actually, right? That person. If I change it a bit, if I just say goofy, right? If I say I abhor your goofy style of talking, right? It is a sort of adjective, right? His goofy style of right teaching, his goofy style of talking, whatever. So the same word can, right? After this, if I just say go and goon, I've just added n after this thing. The goon, you know, is a person who is a sort of scoundrel, who is a sort of miscreant rascal like this. I think he looks like a goon, but actually he's a very nice fellow. The goon is a person who is not of good character, right? Most of us are not of good character, but we think that we are. So goons might be much better than we. So goon is that. Okay. So this is goof, this is goon, this is. It means the same word has can be by a little bit addition, little bit right subtraction. We can change the meanings of words. So got some idea. So that it's right incorrect to say words are always mugged. They are always crammed. They are always bloated. Suppose almost 80% people are in habit of cramming things, but they don't know the very little meaning of the word cram. Let's just say that thing. What's meant by cram? All of you know he's a crammer. I dislike his cramming habit. Cram basically means to try to put something somewhere when there is no room for that. Suppose you have got a bag. Right in bag, you can actually put just like 4 5 clothes. You're trying to put in something like 20 30. So this is cramming. Okay. But its practical meaning is to wrote something, to mug up something, as I said in the previous lecture. So from this, the purpose of all this is try to nurture a sense of words, never wrote them. And it's a bit tricky, it takes time, but with the passage of time, things do turn fine. So I think it was just a sort of intro for today's lecture. Thank you very much, and shall see you very soon. Take care.